Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Joy Taylor, there has been a bombshell lawsuit dropped. I read through the lawsuit and I wanted to come to y'all and speak to y'all directly because, yeah, something got to give. Something has to change. This is unbelievable. And I do believe this woman has been framed. I read through this whole lawsuit. Besides being nothing but innuendo and hearsay, besides giving more space and breath to a man that you said was sexually harassing you, you gave it to your frenemy, someone you befriended, someone that got you your job, someone that looked out for you, and someone, even if we believe your complaint at face value, is a victim of the same sexual harassment. Y'all, listen, I don't know what to say except for this is a cautionary tale of frenemies. At the end of the day, and we'll get into it in the lawsuit, my opinion is this girl was a hater. This girl is trying to ruin Joy's reputation. This girl is suing Joy for discrimination because she said that she doesn't know how to do Black people's hair and she wanted a hairdresser that knew how to do Black people's hair, right? But on top of that, the most shocking thing is this woman went on a concerted effort with Skip Bayless. We're going to get through the documents. They was working. Skip Bayless wanted her to take Fox News down. He and uppity Joy, who wouldn't let Skip Bayless touch. Instead, they started rumors that this woman that is on some of the highest rated Fox shows, that had some of the highest viewer, what do you call it? Viewer approval rates, because again, they go by metrics, they go by numbers. She did her job well. They're trying to say that now she slept her way to the top because some nobody hairdresser who made a whole complaint trying to smear a woman that was her friend that put her down is now saying, because in this lawsuit, she didn't say that this girl was sleeping with anyone. She said, well, according to her, she could tell by body language that there was something going on between Joy and every single man at Fox News, Fox Sports, except for Skip Baylor, who, by the way, Miss Missy Mama, the hairdresser that said that was going to Skip's house to give him private haircuts, she was under Skip's protection. And on top of that, she was under Skip's protection. And on top of that, Skip was the one that got you your job and offered protection, and y'all was having jealous arguments, but somehow you wrote a whole lawsuit where you literally wanted to besmirch Joy's reputation. Now listen, y'all cannot agree with me. That's fine, but we're going to get into these legal docs. And I'm just going to say it. I think this woman is lying on Joy. The woman never actually says that she has proof that Joy was sleeping with anybody. She said she could tell by body language. The woman doesn't have any proof that Joy slept her way to the top. If anything, this woman seems like she doesn't know that Joy actually had a journalism degree. And she talked about it. How could a bartender, first off, you're a bartender in Miami. It's like being a bartender in New York. You're a little local superstar. But not even that. She was a bartender and she also was on a popular radio show in the Florida, Miami area. You didn't understand how a woman you didn't think was qualified got her position at Fox Sports. And now, and now you want to spend a whole lawsuit tearing her down with no proof, no evidence. And you know how misogynistic the sports world is and how the incels are going crazy on her. Again, that's just my opinion, but let's get into this, okay? Also, Mindy Lee Schmidt, thank you so much for becoming a tattletale. Thank you, Miss Mindy Lee. We appreciate you. Okay, let's get into, listen. First of all, somebody said BC Black. Everyone knows Emmanuel Acho and Joy was sleeping around. Did you read the lawsuit? What that got to pause? Because I'm sick of people acting like the real world doesn't happen. Emmanuel and Joy were co-workers. He did not have any pull. He did not have any power. The fact that she was sleeping with her peer, her co-worker, So what? So what? So what? Who cares if Joy was sleeping with her coworker, her peer? She didn't get a leg up on that. He didn't hire, he couldn't fire. They were peers. So what does it matter if they were sleeping together? What again? I get with this girl, the frenemy, and ladies, you got to watch out for people like this. I get the whole time this girl bought her in, got her a job. She's sitting at a restaurant. What's the first thing she says? Some hater stuff. And then an older white man comes and pays for drinks. And she's like, and she's like, who is that? Clocking her tea. And the girl was like, oh, I don't know. It don't matter. Come on, let's go. Because where this girl comes from, she doesn't live in a world where men will come and pick up the tab just because they want to smile on the way out. You don't live the life of a woman that has pretty privilege. So because Joy is beautiful, true, she got a body, right? Lil Wendy Williams, capital P shape. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? But more importantly, she is famous. She has connections. People that are either social climbers or they want to date her. When you got money and you're out there, they will pay for your drinks. That ain't nothing. To this girl, it was everything. And already from the first day y'all went out, you were mad that she was giving that pretty privilege. And you were already trying to be like, who's she sleeping with? What is she doing? Yo, that's weird for somebody that got you your job and helped you out. That's weird. And again, I don't care that she was sleeping with her coworker. Okay. And that's like two people that work at Walmart. No shade if you work at Walmart. You'll know what I'm trying to say, right? Sleeping with each other. And then the other employee suing the employee that she's messing with for sexual harassment. Throws your name in. What that got to do with anything? Why is it an issue whether she was sleeping with her coworker? Not her boss, not anybody powerful, but her coworker. Why is that an issue? Why? I ask you. Let me tell you something. We believe all victims. Do you understand what? Here's the thing. I'm not saying that Skip Bayless didn't make racial discrimination. I'm not saying Skip Bayless didn't harass this woman in the picture. Y'all misunderstand me. I'm saying that she threw Joy's name into the lawsuit to besmirch Joy's name and reputation. At the end of the day, I read the lawsuit back to back. She offered no proof, no evidence. The only thing she said is, well, from my judgment of their body language. She doesn't even describe the body language. Well, Joy told me. But when you read it, it's like, wait a second. What is going on? We can believe all victims against the person that victimized them. Joy was not her harasser. Joy was not her abuser. Tell me how this lawsuit is page after page after page of her throwing dirt on Joy's name because of who Joy was sleeping with. But and you give this much space to your actual abuser. We agree, we believe all victims, but I'm confused. Who are you mad at? What are you most mad about? What are you most mad about? That y'all were both in a toxic environment and you assumed that she was moving up because she was sleeping with people? Mind you, what was going on between that woman and Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless was the evil person. Skip Bayless is the one. And mind you, Skip Bayless wanted this girl to take. And let me just also say this before we get into the lawsuit, because this is important to me. If you've never dealt with a man that's mad that he can't get access to you, and I think every woman's been in this situation, a man can't get access to you. And there's also another woman that hates your guts for whatever reason. And I'm not getting into, oh, women can't get along. Women get along fine. But just like there's always a few bad apples, it is what it is. Skip Bayless was mad that he didn't have access to Joy. As much as he said she was a company pass around, she didn't get past his way, and she wouldn't let him. So Skip, everything this girl knows about who Joy was sleeping with came from Skip Bayless. The Skip Bayless that literally made Shannon Sharpe become a stereotype character. The Skip Bayless that's super, super problematic. So a man that didn't have access to you was talking trash to another woman he wanted to sleep with, who obviously had issues with her, even though they acted like they were friends. And he told her that she was sleeping with the Fox president. On whose authority? What? Sorry, guys. On whose authority? What proof do you have of this? Besides what the dirtbag of the city of, and get this, Skip didn't even say that she was sleeping with him. Skip said that she was sleeping with the president of Fox News, and that's how she got her job. Because Skip was mad that when Joy got hired, he didn't want Joy. He wanted somebody that he was messing with. Y'all got to peep game. Listen, listen, listen. 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 Again, y'all got to get out of here. Listen, Ocho has the ear of Joy, who was sleeping with Mr. Dixon. Marcellus Willie didn't get a job because of that. More lawsuits are coming from this. Ocho got the job over Willie because Joy was sleeping with Dixon. Are y'all serious? First of all, no other lawsuits are coming from this. Second of all, y'all are now trying to say that Ocho had so much motion in the, first of all, based off of a woman that colluded with Skip Bayless to take down Fox. Based off of a woman that was taking Skip Bayless' word, notable rumored dirtbag Skip Bayless' word. You're now trying to say that instead of the, first of all, oh God, it's so easy, isn't it? Y'all are now trying to say that Ocho was so good in bed that Joy Taylor, who was sleeping with the head of Fox, and this is from Skip Bayless' mouth. And how would Skip Bayless know this? Is the head of Fox telling him about Joy? How would Skip Bayless? This reminds me of like third grade, not even third, 11th grade locker room talk. Because hate and Skip, this is all coming from the notable hater, Skip Bayless, and his little minion who turned on him. You're now saying that because Skip Bayless said that she was sleeping, a black woman was sleeping with the head of Fox News, because that's the only way a black woman would ever get that position and be loved and valued and protected, right? Not off of her hard work, not off of her legacy, but off of what was in between her legs. So we're just going to take Skip Bayless' word for it, because this girl, even in her lawsuit, says she has no proof. She just said she felt from body language that something must have been going on. Okay. So, and I'm going to have to get into this legal, but let me just get this straight. Joy was sleeping, according to Skip, sleeping with the president of the thing. And because of that, she was also sleeping with Echo, whatever. And because of that, she wanted her boo thing to be her coworker and was shucking and doing a full, hopping on a deck and doing a full split so she could get her lover to be her co-host. Y'all writing fan fiction. Ain't no more lawsuits coming behind this. There are no more lawsuits coming behind this. And let me just give y'all a little bit of game about this, right? Let me just give y'all a little bit of game about this, because it's important that we actually talk about this. I don't believe that this lawsuit is going anywhere. Now, hear me out. Fox News will have to settle with this girl because of what Skip Bayless did. She has zero accusations against Joy besides a racial discrimination lawsuit because she said that she does not know how to do black hair. Okay. Like, all right, right? Common thing, complaint in the industry, common for what they do, right? So you have all this going on, but Joy didn't actually do anything to you. You threw her name in there because you're a frenemy and you're a jealous hater. The thing is with this, and I just want everybody to realize this, the way these type of lawsuits go, they try to settle behind the scenes. Fox News has known about this lawsuit for a minute. They've conducted internal investigations. Let's not forget last year, Skip Bayless quietly resigned. And everybody was like, that's weird. But nobody thought anything of it because they're like, okay, maybe he's just getting old and tired and he wants to go. Skip Bayless quietly resigned. Fox News has known about this lawsuit for a while. They've been investigating it. Here's what I think would happen after reading this lawsuit, which we'll get into and I'll do legal analysis. But I just want to give you my opinion, first of all. She approached Fox. Fox did their internal investigation. They looked at it and they said, yeah, we're not settling. The fact that they're going to trial, they think they have a strong case. The odds that they settle with her, that little payout first, is very, very low. So she's doing scorched earth policy. The fact that Fox did an internal investigation and they're like, we don't really see anything you talking about here. There's a good chance that she might not get as much money as she thought she would. And she did something that was very career ending. We know how it is with anyone that makes any type of these claims. Their careers get ruined. They get pseudo blacklisted. I feel like she kind of painted herself in a corner. And she decided, because Skip Bayless was the one that said, go after Fox News. He just didn't think that she would turn on him. On top of that, Stephen A. Smith said Skip Bayless is one of the cheapest people I ever know. Ain't no way he offered 1.5. Again, I do believe he offered it. I just don't believe he had any intention of paying it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he had any intention of paying it. But he offered. In any case, I think as a final FU and scorched earth, she threw Skip's name in there, and I think she threw Joy's name in there. But everything that she is accusing Joy of, she is coming with zero evidence. And again, we believe all victims, but Joy is not her abuser. So why is her name all up and in there? Listen. What is this? Who said? Oh my God. Do I have incels in the chat? Concur, dominate. You can see the energy in Tisa for Girl Code. Even with her title of the show, it should have been Girl Code has been broken in an attempt to frame the vice president. Can I say something? And I hope when this is settled, I get an apology. Besides what this woman is saying about what Joy told her, and do you guys think it's odd that she has all this shit in here? Hold on a second. Besides what this woman is saying about what Joy told her, is there any proof it happened? That's all I'm saying. But let's get into this, okay? Okay, sweetie, let's get into this. Let's get into the legal analysis again. I could be wrong. I doubt that very much, but I could be wrong. Okay, very much. But let's get into this, right? There are no more lawsuits coming behind this. Y'all are crazy. It's crazy to me. This pile-on with Joy Taylor. It's sad. But oh well, we're going to see. All right? Listen. Let's get into this. All right. So this girl, okay, they do a summary action. Let's get into this. Okay. In 2003, Mrs. Farage began working at Jose Eber Hair Salon, a sophisticated salon providing cutting-edge styling and coloring techniques and treatments for high-profile clients. Around 2010, she was introduced by a coworker at the salon to Gail Berman, the former president of entertainment for Fox Broadcasting Company, and Dana Walden, the former CEO of Fox Television Group. Shortly thereafter, She began accompanying the coworker to do Miss Walden and Miss Behrman's hair at their homes and on the premiere of Fox. Over time, her coworker became busy with other clients. He sent her on her own to do their hair at their homes and on the premises of Fox. In approximately 2012, a makeup stylist who would do Miss Walden and Mrs. Berman's makeup there, when Miss Farrar worked on their hair, recommended her at a position at Fox. Fox hired her as a part time employee. When hired, she was asked to bring her own tools for her work. She would later discover that all her coworkers received a kit fee for bringing their own tools. However, she herself would not receive a kit fee until 2019, approximately 7 years after she started working at Fox. In addition, she was a hairstylist. Her supervisor, Gina, also required her to do the job duties of a barber. When she complained to her union, they told her that while cutting her hair was not in the contract, Gina was known to be difficult, and it was best to comply with the request accordingly. Through her tenure, she both styled and cut hair. In 2016, she met Joy Teller, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Joy did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when talent was sick and otherwise missed time. Joy told this woman that she was recently wed to her husband, remained in Miami, and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. She then befriended this woman. Again, this woman is vicious, because y'all know a little bit later. Well, we will get into that. In 2016, Joy asked her to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When she arrived, she found Joy with an older man, Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. As Executive Vice President, Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and productions at FSI. However, the hairdresser did not know Mr. Dixon. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Miss Farage asked who he was. Miss Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Following that night, whenever Mrs. Farage would meet Mrs. Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Miss Taylor or show up later in the night and leave with Miss Taylor. He would always buy rounds of drinks and or food from there. And again, first of all, it is not illegal. I don't even know. Listen, if you're insults in the comment, I really don't want to hear this. This girl is saying that, one, you're not letting us know how many times you met with her for drinks. Two, she invited you during normal working hours. So they invited after work. Three, great. She's friends with heads of the network. Four, if this was comp, this is obviously work dinner. But again, I think it's so messed up that this girl, from the day this woman was trying to befriend you, told you she was lonely, did all this stuff, all you were worried about is, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Are you meeting your girlfriend out for drinks? Even for her to say, oh, he's just a friend. Do y'all really honestly think in any world, someone that works for Fox Sports is meeting in public with the head of Fox Sports in public, making a spectacle? This man is married and he is her boss. Do y'all honestly believe that if anything really shady was going on, not only are they meeting in public, not only is he creating a paper trail by buying them drinks, but in there sneaking around, according to this hairdresser, they're inviting her to come along and they're buying her drinks. And when she asks, who is that? She says, oh, no one, just a friend, as if there's no chance that she will actually find out that she has been having drinks and dinner with the head of Fox. Whatever. Let me just move on, because y'all, Anyway, he would always buy rounds of drinks and or food. From their body language, get this, peep this, for all you guys throwing dirt on Joy's name, she suspected that the pair were sleeping with each other. And although this concerned her, she knew Miss Taylor was recently married. She kept her opinions to herself. Now, again, This makes me want to slap her because later in the lawsuit, she cries about how Skip Baylor accused her of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe because of her body language and said everybody in the office assumed she was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe because of their body language and friendship. So let me get this straight. When people accuse you of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe because of your body language and friendship, you're reduced to tears. And it's something that we need to have all this stuff over. Because how dare you? I would never. You don't know what it is. You're spreading rumors. But then you literally put in a lawsuit. And again, this is that hater stuff just to destroy her reputation. She suspected that the pair was sleeping with each other. And this concerned her. You got concerned for this girl and her husband. And this concerned you so much. Why'd you keep meeting with her? If this concerned you so much, why would you pretending to be her friend? If this concerned you so much, why were y'all still, and why were you leading this girl to believe that y'all was super tight? Assuming everything she says is true about Joy Taylor, who, by the way, is not her abuser. Assuming, now mind you, we haven't gotten a word in about Skip Bayless yet, but we're starting with Joy. If you really honestly believe in it, because let me tell you something, I don't hang around with cheaters. I do not hang around with cheaters. If one of my friends is cheating, baby, I skate away. I don't trust people that are cheaters. I don't, and especially forget about this. Forget about a close friend you got to talk some sense into. I'm talking about just like a work associate, someone I don't even know like that. And I see you sitting there cheating on your husband, baby. We ain't having another dinner, another lunch, another, none of my business. But I don't trust people that are shady and slimy. So again, why were you still hanging around this girl if you're so concerned? It doesn't make sense on so many levels. But again, I think this is listen, I think this is just like whatever, but let's get into this. In approximately June 2016, while at work, she noticed she noticed Joy in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, right? She found Joy and told her excitedly, the guy who always buys our drinks was in the elevator. Are y'all believing this? You really think this woman didn't know who the head? Okay. Joy quickly silenced her, explaining who he was. She became alarmed and wanted that and warned Joy that such a relationship was unsafe. Joy told her not to worry about it. She continued to be friends with Joy, even though she felt uncomfortable. She ain't like the lifestyle. She was concerned for her, but she continued to be friends. She continued to be friends with Joy, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Joy and Mrs. Dixon were both married. Again, she said the guy that always buys, first of all, the guy that always buys us drinks and food was in the elevator. Why didn't you say something to her? Why didn't you be like, hi? What, did she give a name? Did you know who you were buying drinks from? Did you give a name? When you saw the guy, why weren't you like, hi, Stanley? What's going on? Oh my God, are you visiting Joy? Or did you just silently look and then run and tell Joy? It makes no sense. You knew this person, right? Again, I assume you guys at least met twice. She's trying to make it seem like she met a long time ago, but I assume that you've met at least twice. I don't think it went too far, but also when you're saying you believe the relationship was morally wrong, you have no proof that this girl was sleeping with Dixon. She never told you she was sleeping with Dixon. You just assumed from body language, the same way you got mad to Skip Bayless, a man that you were going to his home to cut his hair and entertaining him because he was sexually harassing you. And we know how misogynist is. I'm not blaming her. But when Skip came at you about Shannon Sharpe for the same stuff, you're in your feelings. How dare you reproach my reputation? Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Listen. In July 2016, word spread among Fox employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal as it would star Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Joy Taylor, who was and look at this shade, who was a bartender and a radio host in Miami with very little TV experience. She's a radio host. She's gorgeous. She's a bartender, so she knows how to keep the conversation going. Would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program. Skip and Sharpe, undisputed. Now, I got to stop right there also because I'm sick of everybody playing stupid. We know the way Fox Sports is. We know the way ESPN is. The women that are on these sports shows are hired to be one, eye candy. You must be beautiful. Two, the camera has to love you. Three, the ratings have to love you. Okay? Because even if she was put in there as a plant, she would have been fired the next day if she could not perform the job. Three, y'all got to stop. She was not put in there to do war coverage in the Middle East. The job of these sports shows is entertainment. The job of the female moderator is to look good, be funny, and keep the conversation going. Her experience as a bartender, and also she was a radio host. A radio host. Second of all, when they're saying that was looking for a woman with significant TV experience, no, they were looking for a woman that tested well. This girl had TV experience. Remember how the girl said she met because she was doing day-to-day fill-ins whenever any of the other hosts were gone? She was going on air and the ratings were chef's kiss. So now this girl's trying to act like, and let's also not forget that Joy has a journalism degree. Oh, she was a bartender and a radio host. Do you know how big a deal it is to be a radio host in the Miami area? Do you know how big a deal it is to have a journalism degree? Do you know how big a deal it is that at that point she was already filling in whenever any of the main hosts were sick? Do you know how big a deal it is that she had the experience, right? She had the experience, she had the looks, she had the personality, and more importantly, she had ratings on her side. And this girl is sitting here hating on it. Again, we are on paragraph 23, and we have not really even touched on what Skip Bayless did to her. So again, I want to ask, who is really on trial here? Your little fake friend you cozied up to that you were secretly jealous of, or Skip Bayless? But don't worry, we'll get to that. Skip Bayless later disclosed, right, that to the hairdresser that he did not want Joy Taylor on the show. But Joy Dixon the head of the network was adamant that Joy Taylor should star. Okay, but it's the head of the okay. And networks pick people all the time network heads pick people all the time to be the star of the show. Skip Bayless didn't want her on the show. Who the hell is Skip Bayless? Again, first of all, Skip Bayless is a dirty dog. Second of all, you wouldn't know this unless Skip Bayless didn't tell you this. Third of all, I still don't understand what the issue is. Skip Bayless is not the network head. He doesn't do the staffing for his show. He wasn't involved. Yeah, he can put his opinion, who he wants in there. But at the end of the day, they go by focus groups, they go by ratings, and they go by gut feel. The same way they picked Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless to co-host the show when they could have picked any sports figures. It's the same way they can pick the woman that's there. Again, how is this different from what happens with any network show? And you have to know with network shows, they can do two ways. You can get a prominent TV figure, but you got to pay that prominent price. Or you can get someone that has been tested on the network. She tests well with ratings. People are used to seeing her here and there. She has experience on radio, so she can keep a conversation going. And she has a face and body for TV. They like their eye candy. Let's call a spade a spade. And she's much cheaper than everybody else. Sounds like a win. At first, right, the network had arranged a dinner between Skip and Joy where she arrived. Now, again, can I just say something? Skip Taylor is a dirty, dirty dog from what I've heard. And he don't like women that don't spread like mustard. So let's listen to what else she has to say and ask ourselves, Where did she get this opinion from? Because she wasn't at the dinner. So who you think told her? The way Joy came sauntering in, bells whistling. So the network exec arranged a dinner between Skip and Joy, where, according to Skip Bayless, who was telling the woman that he was harassing, Joy arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. Ladies, if there's any of you guys in the chat, can we please explain to the men the way men that we do not allow access to us will talk about us? Joy, now let me just say this. Joy, who, according to this hairdresser, based upon no evidence, then, well, it seemed like they were sleeping together. Based off of no evidence besides that, what she felt. It's saying that Joy is sleeping with the network head, the head honcho, everybody's boss, even Skip's boss. But somehow, the woman that's sleeping with the boss has to put on provocative clothes and literally be sitting there in Skip Bayless's face acting provocative. Why? Did any man that is going in on her bother to ask why? That doesn't make sense. If I'm with the big boss, baby, you better bow down. You ain't nothing. You are his son, and I am your mama. Take the place. Why would you have to then try to seduce the big boss's employee to get you to come on the show when the big boss already said she got the job? However, y'all go to dinner so y'all can get acquainted with each other and call it a day. Why? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm telling y'all, as a woman, it doesn't make any sense. Even if you're sleeping your way to the top, you already slept your way to the top. Let's just say everything this girl's saying is true, and Joy slept her way to the top. Why is she now dressing provocatively and acting provocative to Skip? And how would this woman know that's what is happening unless Skip is the one that told you? My contention is Skip is an unreliable narrator. Skip is a dirty dog who was mad that Joy would not let that man have any access to her. Skip was mad that Joy was powerful. And no matter what said, so Skip was sitting here talking shit about Joy to talking trash about Joy to Joy's good friend that was just so concerned for her and concerned for her husband. And this woman is amazing. And the fact that people are falling for, I was her friend. Ladies and gentlemen, why would you be listening to a person that is harassing you talk trash about your good friend who you're concerned about what she was wearing, what she was doing? Why don't you go back to your friend and be like, Skip is talking trash about you? But of course, she ain't going to do that, right? Exactly. You guys, this is just this woman's opinion. And the fact that it's escaping everyone that she got mad that she was accused of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe because of their interactions. But then she turned around and did the same thing to Joy Teller. Mind you, she's pretending to be Joy's friend. And again, the shit she's saying from a woman's point of view don't even make sense. If I'm sleeping with the boss, why I gotta sit there and act and seduce one of his employees? Come on now. For what? I already got the job, and I got more job security than you do, according to Skip Bayless, right? According to Skip, I got more job security. Anyway, right? Um, when that did not change Skip's opinion of Joy, he asked him to approve her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Skip agreed to do a favor to his friend. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to decode that sentence. Because let's do this in. This sounds like Skip spilled your head with a bunch of dumb nonsense that you were so eager to hate on your quote unquote friend that you didn't even think, does this make sense? Let me read that sentence again. When Joy, so you're telling me that the head of Fox Network, who you're sleeping with, said that if you do not seduce my employee, you cannot be on the show for the job that I've already given you. And when Skip, notable dirty, dirty dog Skip, notable dirty, dirty dog Skip, would not be seduced. Skip, when it didn't change her opinion. Why? When she said, no, Skip, you can't hit. When that didn't change his opinion. Skip's boss, the head of the whole network, the person that is funding the show and gave Skip a show, put Skip and Shannon Sharpe on his show. That ain't Skip's show, that's a network show. Put Skip and Shannon Sharpe on the show. Skip's boss said, Skip, could you please approve her as a favor to me, your boss? Skip agreed to do so, but only as a favor, not because you're my boss, not because all this shit is yours, not because you already hired her and I had no choice as to what to do with staffing, but I did it as a favor to my boss. You guys, does this make any sense? Again, we're now on page 25 and we still haven't gotten to what Skip did to her. The abuser. We believe all victims. I'm just waiting for her to actually talk about her abuser and not a girl that she was insanely jealous of, that she didn't think was qualified because she was a bartender and a radio personality and also a journalism major, also an on-air personality at Fox Sports that was testing very, very, very good. Around 2016, the hairdresser attended a dinner with Joy and her husband and Mr. Dixon and his wife. Now, that's how close Joy thought she was to this girl, that it was a couple's date and she invited this girl like, yo, maybe you can make connections. Also, this girl is trying to act like she didn't know she was meeting with the network head, but now you're at dinner with the guy's wife. Okay. And if you were that bothered by this moral depravity that only you see, right? Because no one else thought they were sleeping together. So besides Skip, who told you they were sleeping together, who also told you she tried to seduce him, but he said no. But you're so turned off by this moral depravity that you are literally fifth wheeling it with a morally depraved crew. During the dinner, Joy's husband became suspicious that Joy and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Okay, but did his wife? Soon after that dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Joy Taylor. Now, ladies, I do want to say also, this is this girl telling the story. How much you want to bet the fact that she's putting the husband name in? Who do you think went to him and was whispering in his ear that there was something sexual going on? If there was, because I still don't believe this. I want to see her proof. And I need more than her word because she's basing all her words off of what Skip told her and what she observed. But if that's the case, then this girl was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe because we're going off of what people observe, right? Second of all, you know that this girl also had another best friend who was engaged, and that best friend was dumped. She was very close to her best friend and her fiance. It's super close. And a week before her best friend's wedding, her fiance got disturbing information and also dumped her best friend. That's weird that every single woman close to you, relationship, marriage, weddings get called off. That is very, very, very interesting. Listen, listen, that is very, now again, hear me out. I do 100% believe that Skip Bayless did this to that woman. I do. That's Skip. We've heard stuff. Everybody knows he is a dirty dog. My whole thing is tell me how we are now 26 paragraphs in and we are still only talking about Joy Taylor and what she was doing. Believe all victims, believe them about what? Have we talked about her abuser yet? No? Okay, let's keep going. In approximately September 2026, Undisputed started. Joy requested, and this is how messed up this girl was. Joy requested that this girl be her hairdresser. At approximately November 2016, after not allowing anyone to touch his hair, Skip also requested her to do his hair. On January 14th, Joy had her birthday party at Pearl's rooftop in West Hollywood. The hairdresser and other Fox employees who were invited attended as it was part of their job duties to appease talent. A birthday party is an important event. First of all, it wasn't part of your job's duty to attend the birthday party. Stop it. You were pretending to be this girl's friend. Stop it. As usual, also the fact that other Fox employees did, they were throwing her a birthday party. That happens all the time. As usual, Joy was heavily drinking. I'm sorry, Mr. Dixon. The network boss was heavily drinking, buying drinks for everyone on a Fox credit card, and blustering that everything purchased was on Fox dime. Okay, this is really what is getting me angry about this girl, because you are describing company happy hours. You are describing company get togethers. You realize when your company does a holiday party, the company pays for it. Whenever there is a company happy hour, the company pays for it. Even if there's a company happy hour that is supposed to be someone's birthday, the company pays for it. So, what is inappropriate about him buying employees drinks and saying that everything was purchased on Fox's dime? That's a tax write off. Again, all right. She was standing near the bar facing the crowd. The network boss approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink and then placed his arm on her lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, and if she wanted a tequila shot. She felt very uncomfortable by his unsolicited touching and responded, "No, thank you." He then moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her buttocks. She was mortified, but quickly thought to fake an incoming call to escape the situation. Okay, great. Now we're getting to this. Dixon harassed her. But again, what has this got to do with Joy? She did not know who to turn to. But as she knew that Joy was sleeping with Dixon, again, how does she know? She just said a few paragraphs ago that she suspected that they were sleeping together. Based on that, now she knows. How did she find out? Who told her? It wasn't Joy. This girl. Anyway, she turned to her. Surprisingly, Joy responded to get over it and explained that she herself only had her job because of Dixon, and that she only had her job because of Joy requested her. She warned that Mr. Dixon could take it both away. Now, hear me out on this. She was terrified and turned to her coworker, Anonymous, to discuss the situation. Anonymous responded that Mr. Dixon was disgusting and that the entire situation was sick, but that it wasn't shocking given Fox's culture, and that she should remain quiet if she wanted to keep her job. As a single mother who needed the job to support her son, she had no choice but remain silent. Pause. Because this is when I got really mad and I said, yes, Mr. Dixon, first of all, you should have led with your abuser. But second of all, use that hate in A, B. Just hear me out. What's the difference between, first of all, why is it that your conversation with Joy, you put in a complaint, but you kept the other coworker anonymous? Second of all, what is the difference between what Joy told you and what the other coworker told you? Joy and the coworker said the same thing. You need to get over it. They both said the same thing. He is very powerful. He could take away the jobs. He could destroy you. You're just going to have to put up with it because that's what happens in Fox culture. This girl, Anonymous, and Joy told you the same things, but yet you put Joy's business in your street. And when you want to think about it, Joy was literally telling you also, I'm also a victim of this culture. I'm not going to war with Dixon for your mess. You're welcome to, but I would advise you not to. Because, girl, he could get all of our jobs fired. The same thing, the coworker you liked that you kept their name anonymous. They gave you the same exact advice. But why you got so much smoke for Joy? On top of that, I'm not going to let this slide. You went from saying you suspected they were sleeping together to knowing they sleep together. But in these paragraphs, you ain't provide any proof of how it went from I suspected based off of body language to, oh, I know for a fact you're sleeping together. Really? Okay. All right. I know for a fact that oh God, even if, and this is my last thing, and just hear me out. Even if, right? Even if, listen, okay, DL Bark, DL Bark says, Tisa, reach out to Jason Whitlock and Marcel Wiley, who knows better than you because they worked at Fox Sports and they knew and heard rumblings and gossip about what was happening. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. It cannot be that every successful, beautiful young woman who that is the job description at Fox Sports that gets ahead, that doesn't have a family money or family name slept her way to the top. Y'all got to stop. I think a lot of men don't realize when women are in men's spaces, especially if they are young, beautiful, nice bodies, they're very charming, that there's always rumblings that they're sleeping with someone. An attractive woman cannot have a work husband or a work friend or a mentor without there being rumblings that she slept her way to the top. So I get what you're saying, but I want to see the proof because any attractive woman knows there will always be rumblings that you slept your way to the top. So I want to see proof. And this girl, she's putting all Joy's business out there. She is given zero proof. And again, let me just say this. Even if everything this girl is saying is true about her having Joy sleeping with the boss, that means Joy is being sexually harassed, just like you're saying you're sexually harassed. Well, what's the difference? Joy enjoyed it. Joy's a cunning seductress. How is not what you're describing? Because here's the thing. You're saying that Joy's man, the man Joy is sleeping with, okay? The man Joy is sleeping with is groping you and touching your booty. And you go and tell her, girl, your man just fucked me up. And Joy just says, get over it. He's super powerful. He can take both of our jobs away. Does that sound like Joy's enjoying it? Does that sound like Joy's loving it? Or does it sound like Joy, if what she's saying is true, is also a victim of having to sexual harassment, having to feel like she has to sleep with her boss to keep her job? How is that any different from what this girl is describing or suing? How are you mad at Joy? When even by your own admission, she's also a victim too, because what woman is cool with the man that she seduced? But what is it? Because what? Joy's pretty, Joy's sexy. What? Joy seduced Mr. Dixon. She loved it. Every other woman's being sexually harassed in this lawsuit, but Joy's loving every minute of it. Joy even tried to seduce Skip Bayless, even though she was sleeping with the boss. Are y'all like putting this together? Or is it the fact that Joy was pretty, a lot of guys liked her, and everybody assumed that she had slept her way to the top? Because that's what they assume about every single woman. On top of that, it is Fox News culture. Anyway, let's keep going, right? 7 years later. So out of all this shit, these are almost a decade passes before another incident happens. And again, you knew for a fact Joy was sleeping with them. How? 7 years later in 2023, Mrs. Peretti, I guess that's a girl, told the hairdresser that she did not like her or anything about Undisputed. She expanded that she had already scheduled someone for hair on Undisputed when Mr. Dixon called her and told her that she must put Miss Farage on Undisputed. So let me get this straight. Again, because the loud. So let me get this straight. It is this girl's opinion that Joy didn't deserve that hosting spot. because she was a radio host and only occasionally did on air with Fox. It was her opinion she ain't deserve it. And that she had to suck and bluck the network boss and try to do a hop up on that and do a full split on Skip Bayless to get her permission. However, the same Dixon network boss that made Joy crawl on the floor like a dog and do God whatever to get her job. This is her narrative. He somehow decided to fight for the hairdresser to be the hairdresser on Undisputed, even though the bosses on Undisputed said, we don't like you. Even though the bosses on Undisputed said, your hair sucks. Even though the people that worked on Undisputed said, we don't want you here. We don't think you do a good job. Mr. Dixon, the head of the network, stepped in and said, you better make her the hairdresser. And I don't care what you say. You better make her the hairdresser. So with Dixon's part, everybody loved her. Not Dixon. With Joy's part, everybody loved her. She was charting well. She did the job well. She was one of the most beloved commentators on Fox. Stop acting like she wasn't. She's sleeping with the boss. But the same boss that's supposed to be sleeping with Joy decided to fight for the hairdresser to get a position, even though nobody wanted her there. And they said she did a horrible job. But yet she wasn't sleeping with Dixon. And I'm not saying she was sleeping with Dixon. I'm talking about the hypocrisy. So Joy has to be doing all this tawdry shit based off of body language. But him going to bat to you, well, that's just what he does because he's a good guy. Could he have not been doing it? She wasn't sad, didn't have to sleep with Dixon to get him to fight for her job when her immediate female boss was trying to fire her and nobody liked her hair. Then why did Joy have to sleep with him? Why couldn't he fight for her? Especially because Joy, it was liked by her coworkers, except Skip Bayless, who couldn't hit. She was charting good, and the ratings were amazing. Why is that so far-fetched? Again, it's hypocrisy. Joy, in her mind, is some dirty little hoe that don't deserve nothing. But her, oh no, there's nothing here. It's purely innocent. Okay. She told the hairdresser, Mrs. Peretti, that is the head of Undisputed. She is in charge of all the production, hair, makeup, all the stuff. She said, I didn't like that. This is when Dixon got involved, right? This is when the head of the network got involved and said, you better keep her on Undisputed. I don't care. She's doing everybody's hair. So you literally interjected to stop her from getting fired. Her boss told her, I didn't like that. That's not how things should be done. The hairdresser was stunned and devastated as she prides herself on her work and earning her accolades. Later that day, while thinking about her career, she was angry that Mrs. Peretti succumbed to the head director's request, as it gave him the feeling that he could grope her for giving her a job. Let me get this straight. Your boss said you sucked and wanted to fire you. So you know that if Mr. Dixon had not given you a chance and demanded they not fire you, you would be fired. When the boss turned to you and said, yo, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you got someone to run interference when we told you did a bad job. We don't do that here. You got shocked and saying, what? The accolades. I deserve to be here. But Joy couldn't. But Joy was the dirty hoe sleeping with everybody. Joy somehow, and again, I'm not saying that this girl's sleeping with Dixon. I'm saying, how is it that you can be getting someone keeping you from being fired? But Joy, who's getting great, okay, fine, I'll let it go, right? But then the girl that didn't fire you because Dixon told her to, you got upset that she succumbed to the head network's request because it gave the head the feeling that he could grope her for giving her a job. Why didn't you quit then? Why didn't you put in a sexual harassment suit then? Okay. And why was he going to bat for you? I don't know. I'm not saying anything's going on with them. I'm saying that how is it that Joy's relationship with him is so dirty, but yours is so above level? When honestly, it seems like he's more involved in your life and your stuff. And it looks like he got eyes for you. Anyway, they're saying that he gets rid of the female talent member for refusing to have sex with him. Several years after her tenure at Fox, a female talent member hired her to do her hair at her house for an award show. Anonymous, again, Joy's name is all up and through this lawsuit. But now we got the coworker and also a female talent member who you kept anonymous because you didn't want to humiliate them and you didn't want gossip and rumors to start around the industry. But Joy, that's no problem. And again, we have zero proof that she's given that Joy did it. She didn't say she saw text messages. She didn't. All she said was she saw body language that made them think. Okay, let's keep going. Um, but Anonymous told her that she would no longer be with Fox as the head network told her that she would need to have sex with him if she wanted to renew her contract, but she had refused. She further conveyed that the Mr. Dixon, the Boss Network, was doing this to other women talent and that she should warn Joy to be careful. A talk show host had recently reported him. Now, here's the thing. Following that lunch, now let me just say this. Why would she have to warn Joy to be careful about sleeping with Mr. Dixon? And why would she tell her to be careful if everybody knew that they were sleeping together or assumed they sleeping together? You're warning him that this man gets close to you and then tries to see if he can sleep with you if you want to keep your job, right? So you're warning this, but you just said that you knew for a fact that they were sleeping together. Okay, let's keep going. Again, we are 33 paragraphs in. We have maybe had 6 lines about her actual abuser, Dixon. We've had we've had about 6 to maybe 11 sentences about Dixon, the actual abuser, and we're getting back into her obsession with Joy. Am I the only one that this isn't hitting right? Following the lunch, she called Joy to convey what Anonymous had stated. Joy responded that no one gives a F about Anonymous or the talk show host who had reported him. Again, what else did she say? What else did she say? She then later observed that Joy's remarks appeared accurate, as no actions were taken to address the concerns raised. If it was not already apparent, it became even more clear that Fox enabled high ranking individuals to abuse their authority, exerting undue control over female talent and employees. So let me get this straight. You know for a fact that Joy, according to you, is sleeping with Dixon, but yet somebody warns her that he's going to try. Make sure you tell Joy that he's going to try to sleep with you. And you tell Joy, yo, so and so said you should be careful. He's going to try to sleep with you. And Joy responds, all she says is nobody gives a F about blah, 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 blah. What was the rest of the conversation? And that don't even make sense. But I'm sure everybody wants to believe that Joy was doing something. So, okay. Fear permeated the workplace as stories of mistreatment circulated. As one example, he deliberately assigned a female talent member who had been harassed and reported it to a show set up to fail. When the show inevitably failed due to sabotage, he used its failures as justification to terminate her employment. In another instance, a coworker who frequently cried in the hallway due to relentless sexual harassment was fired just 1 week after reporting it. These repeated incidents reinforce an atmosphere where speaking up was futile and dangerous. Again, she is lying about knowing that Joy was sleeping with Mr. Dixon. It's nothing but her opinion. Her opinion is based off of one meeting. On top of that, even if everything she said is true, She said that these repeated incidents reinforce an atmosphere where speaking up seemed to be futile and dangerous. If it reinforced an atmosphere where speaking up was futile and dangerous, then wouldn't that mean that even Joy speaking up was futile and dangerous? And wouldn't that mean that she was being sexually harassed like everybody else? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I know y'all gonna be like, Tisa, shut up. No, Joy is the office pass around. Joy was doing this. Joy was doing that. Again, I'm sure she's gonna get back to Joy. Skip Bayless begins to give her lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. Let's get into Skip Bayless harassing her. Again, I do truly believe by Skip Bayless and his hate ass comments, he was mad that he had no access to Joy. On top of that, this girl can't have it both ways. First, you say that you suspect they're sleeping together. Then you know for a fact they're sleeping together. Then it goes into, well, no, she's being warned by other talent. Don't sleep with them because he's going to do this and that. And then you say when you told Joy, Joy was like, nobody gives a fuck about them. Meaning that, we'll get into it, that like Fox News is misogynist and they don't have enough pull or power to do anything from it. Second of all, why are you mad that Joy didn't go and expose this when you didn't even go and expose it and you were the one being harassed? Joy was not harassing. Like, oh my God, this woman, I can't. Yo, this is a class thing in frenemies. Besides this woman's word, who she's getting all this from Skip Bayless, the man that is lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. After reporting, after the reporting by the talk show host fell on deaf ears, Skip began requesting that she give him a haircut once a week in the makeup room. She did as she was told, as Mrs. Purdy required her to give haircuts to talent. Initially, during the haircuts, Mr. Bayless, Skip, would discuss his life, his work at Fox, and other innocuous matters. However, soon after the weekly haircut started, she began finding excuses to touch her. He would give her lingering hugs after each haircut, putting his body against her own, pressing against her breast. He then began to kiss her cheeks. She was uncomfortable by the physical contact and would make excuses to leave right after the haircut. In the summer of 2017, she was giving him a haircut. He told her she was voluptuous, as English is her second language and she was not familiar. She said as English was her second language, she was not familiar with the word voluptuous. He seemed amused and he told her to figure it out. She later asked a coworker what the word meant and was mortified. She then Skip Bayless and started to being more aggressive and direct in his advances. She continuously declined, stating she did not date at work as she was a single mom and needed her job. She was terrified and then turned to her coworker to discuss the situation. Again, this coworker's anonymous. Everybody is anonymous except for the woman that she seemed to be really, really jealous of. This anonymous coworker decided that because Skip was a powerful man and Fox protected powerful men, it would only be to her detriment to report the issue. The two decided that she needed to be kind towards Skip or risk her job. As a single mother who relied on her job to support her son, she felt she had no choice. Again, she felt that she had no choice, but Joy had a choice. Joy deserves to be dragged all up and down this lawsuit. Joy's reputation, all these other women, the anonymous talent girl, this person, that everybody else. But Joy's the only one whose image has to be besmirched. Tell me how. Okay, but let's go on because y'all don't want to hear me. In approximately November 2017, she hurt her back at work, couldn't move for nearly 40 days, and received workers' comp. She returned from her leave. She was not provided her full-time schedule and learned from a coworker that Miss Peretti had promised her shifts to someone else. She called her union for help. Her union informed her that Miss Peretti's actions would be illegal under the law. She then called Human Resources to confirm that she was entitled to pre-leave schedule. She called Miss Farage into her office. When she arrived, the individual from Human Resources was present. Mrs. Peretti was falsely explaining that she did not want her full-time schedule. Mrs. Farage grew upset, explained that she did want her full-time schedule, and further explained that she had been treated poorly for years. She had multiple meetings with human resources where she explained that Mrs. Peretti yelled at her, made fun of her, and bullied her. Mrs. Peretti told Mrs. Farage that she did not like her and could fire her at any time. First of all, it's not illegal for your boss to say, I don't like you and I can fire you at any time. And she just said 6 paragraphs earlier that Mrs. Peretti said that she thought she was horrible at her job. And the only reason she got to keep her job is because Skip Bayless, the man that had groped her, demanded that she not be fired. But if Skip Bayless wasn't around and you weren't being sexually harassed, you would have been fired. On top of that, I like the way that while she's saying she knows for a fact that Joy was sleeping with Skip, and while this woman was a fifth wheel on a date, I find it very funny that, and I'm not doubting that Skip Bayless didn't sexually harass her, but I find it very funny that she got all Joy's, not even business, but her opinion of Joy's business in the street. But you don't explain to us how you and not Skip Bayless. You are not explaining how you and Dixon, the head of the network, from that meeting and drinks with Joy, the girl that's supposed to be sleeping with him, and dinner with him and his wife, how y'all developed such a close bond that 7 years later, when your boss is trying to fire you because she thinks you do a horrible job, the network head gets involved with a hairdresser's job on the set of a show saying you better never fire her. Again, I'm not doubting the Skip and the network head didn't harass this hairdresser. I'm just wondering again, how you skip over 7 years. Where'd this friendship come from? Why was he involved in your day to day? How did he even know that you was about to be fired? Oh, you want to skip over that? Okay, let's get back to Joy. I'm sure she's about to flip over to Joy again. Um, from her perspective, there was no resolution after these conversations, and she never informed of any sort of conclusion or action taken on Fox's part. In 2018, Joy was moved from undisputed to the herd with Colin Currow. She again requested her to do her hair. Ladies, you got to be careful. The whole time this girl was plotting on her and hated her, hated the way that she could move through this misogynist way, literally thought that she was some whore sleeping her way to the top, didn't like her, didn't respect her, thought she was immoral, based off of nothing but what she wanted to think off of her. Meanwhile, Joy thinks this woman is her friend and even brings her to her new set. Joy, who the girl saying slept with the network boss for her job, was doing so well on Undisputed that she gets moved to an even bigger show because the ratings were doing so well and she is a commodity. And brings the hairdresser that was doing such a shitty job that Dixon, the woman Joy supposed the man Joy's supposed to be sleeping with, the network boss, had to step in to stop a hairdresser from being fired. Okay. All right. Sure. Mind you, I know what you're saying. Well, she said she was sleeping with them. What, she's in everybody else's tea. She's telling Anonymous, oh, I heard Skip did this. I heard blah, 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 blah. Where's the details on how you know that Joy was sleeping with Dixon? Because if you weren't sleeping with Dixon and you got all this, why couldn't Joy been one of Dixon's favorites too? The same way you navigated not sleeping with him, why couldn't Joy do that? Anyway, right? But you could tell from body language that they were obviously sleeping together. But you never saw Dixon grope Joy. You never saw them touch each other. You damn sure never saw them hug, kiss, anything like that. As a matter of fact, the only thing you did see was the network boss rubbing you up, smacking your booty, and Bayless being perverted with you. But yet, we are literally 42 paragraphs into this, and you have maybe bought them up maybe 5 times. You're abusers. But let's get back to Joy. She requested her to do her hair. She also requested that he do his hair. Thus, every day she would do Skip Bayless's hair for Undisputed and would do Joy's hair and Coward's hair for the herd. Throughout her entire tenure at Fox, Coward was professional and respectful to her and her coworkers. Around this time, after learning of Joy and Mr. Dixon's sexual relationship, again, how did she learn of this? And I swear to God, if she says that Dixon told her that Joy was sleeping with her, okay. She did. Her then fiance broke off the engagement and threatened to go public with all that he knew. On information and belief, Dixon paid for the wedding deposits in an informal exchange for her fiance's silence. How would she know this? And I know what y'all saying. Oh, well, she was friends with Joy. But if Joy had told her, she would have written, Joy told me she was sleeping with Dixon. Joy told me she paid off her fiance. She's very specific with everything else she hears. She would have said that. So this is when somebody says based upon information and belief, that means that that is your own opinion based off of the facts at hand. It's odd to me also that this girl that was Joy's good friend was so close with the fiance that her and the fiance are talking. That her and the fiance are talking about Joy. You are a really good friend. And the whole time Joy had this girl doing her hair. Mm. Um, Joy Taylor's then fiance. So you already got rid of one of her husbands. And now the fiance is breaking up too. And you all in the middle of the mix. And you know, you're saying you know all the business. Okay. And also, why would he pay off all the deposits in an informal exchange? Because if you really knew that and you were threatening to go public, you would have made that man, the head of Fox Sports, open up his whole pockets and actually give you a real settlement, not pay off stupid wedding deposits. On May 10, 2019, Bobby Diaz, the individual who puts the microphone on talent, mocked her for her pronunciation of English words and sexualized the way she was eating fruit. She did not respond. She just kept her eyes glued on the monitor, playing undisputed. Ms. Peretti was present and did nothing. Upon information and belief, he openly gropes, harasses, and inappropriate women in Fox. Mr. Diaz has not been fired, reportedly due to his role in supplying cocaine to numerous Fox employees and talent, even after the incident where he removed his pants live on camera. She sent notice of this impending lawsuit to Fox. He made a mockery of his discussions with human resources regarding his interactions with Ms. Farage. He told various employees that she was stupid. Defiantly, she then had multiple meetings with human resources where she explained that Mrs. Peretti yelled at her. Stated that despite being told not to speak about his discussions with human resources, he didn't care, saying, "Who gives a shit?" He further boasted that he would never be fired. So let me get this straight. This man took his pants off. He's harassing you, bullying you, everything. You gave him one paragraph. Dixon is fighting for you to keep your job. You're not explaining how y'all are such good friends after 7 years, all this stuff. We are on paragraph 49. He's gotten 2.5 paragraphs. Bayless has gotten 1.5 paragraphs. Let's get back to Joy, because that's what this lawsuit's about, Joy. On February 2020, Joy asked her to meet her for lunch at Beverly Hills. When she arrived, she found Joy with a man, Emmanuel Acho. She did not know Acho, but could tell the two were romantically involved. This girl, so not sleeping together, but definitely romantically involved. A few months after meeting him at lunch, she noticed him in the hallway while at work. She later asked Joy if Acho also worked at Fox. She confirmed and explained that she wanted Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. She became alarmed and warned Joy that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Acho at the same time. Dixon was a very powerful man that became very angry. Mind you, this is your friend Dixon, who you made a friendship with over 7 years, and he's fighting for your job too. Joy told her not to worry about it. She explained that she also was now powerful, and once Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced by Dixon like other women talent. Now, pause right there because everybody thinks this is a smoking gun. But let me just say this from a legal perspective. If this conversation actually happened, and I mean if, because I don't care what anybody says, this is weird that this is a sexual harassment suit. We are on the 50th paragraph, and this is nothing but a burn book against Joy. Joy, it's like an episode of Mean Girls. But if this conversation happened, how is this a smoking gun? Joy just told her, this girl's saying, oh my God, so you like Ocho, but you're sleeping with Dixon also. That's dangerous, girl. He could fire you. And she tells her, I plan to tell the company that he also was sexually harassing me. I'm not going to let him force me out the way he did other women talent. You just spent 6 paragraphs ago letting us know that he was harassing all the other talent, that he was forcing himself on women. And if you did not succumb, he would fire you. Magically, he's fighting for your job, but you ain't have to play ball. You ain't have to sleep with him. You ain't have to do nothing about that. But somehow you developed a friendship with them that had the head network coming in and demanding that hairdressers on shows, not talent, but hairdressers on shows get to keep their jobs. And he magically knew that you were about to be fired. Okay. But if we believe everything, so you're telling me that all these other women at Fox News were being harassed by Dixon. All these other women were being meant to be forced by Dixon. All these other women, but according to you, were being manhandled and groped and sexually harassed by Dixon, that network boss, but not Joy. Joy's a hussy. Joy's a liar. Joy enjoyed it. Joy knew what she was doing. Every other woman in this lawsuit is a victim, but not Joy. Okay. And again, that's if we can even believe what she is saying about Joy. That's even if we can believe what she's saying. But if it is true, Joy is just saying, I'm not going to let him push me out the same way he pushed all those other women out. He pushed all those other women out. She just said because he was sexually harassing him. But no, Joy enjoyed it. This is how Joy slept her way to the top. Joy started to work on Speak. Joy requested that she also do her hair. Yo, that's scary that your biggest woman that is preying on you. You always read about women like this. You read about them in like horror stories and books. You just don't believe these people actually exist. At approximately 2020, an employee at Fox began demonstrating erratic Jane Doe. Again, why is every other woman's name in this lawsuit anonymous? The people that were sleeping with Dixon, the people that were sleeping with Bayless, the people that got fired, everybody else's name is anonymous except for Joy. Jane Doe, Mrs. M, an employee at Fox, began demonstrating erratic behavior. One night in an informal dinner at Mastro Steakhouse, she grew irrationally enraged at Mrs. Faraji and screamed, F you, you Persian bee. The dinner ended with Mrs. M broke a glass and threatened to harm herself. Following that dinner, another anonymous coworker, who is Black, reported the incident to Human Resources, explaining that she would not be okay with someone calling her a black bee. Anonymous also had Ms. Farajas report the incident to Mrs. Peretti. Despite these reports supposedly being anonymous, Ms. M learned of the reports and became increasingly unstable towards Ms. Faraji. Every single warning, Ms. M would scream and throw things at Faraji. Now, let me just say this. I don't understand why she called her a Persian bee. I don't understand why she needed to say, oh, anonymous, who is Black, also did this. I do find it odd, and I will say that every other woman in this complaint, whether they were Skip Bayless or Dixon's lover, playmate, or harassment vehicle, is anonymous. I do find it odd that when she said this girl was anonymous, was she giving her the Faraji special? Because this woman seems to have a thing of trying to act like she's girls' friends and then trying to snake them behind their back, spread rumors, get information, get dirt, do what she can, and then sit there and hate and judge on her friends. So maybe she found out that the girl was talking to her husband or making friends with people, because now she's trying to say this is so erratic. She grew irrationally enraged. What did you do to her? And you said she became, despite these being anonymous, um, she became increasingly unstable. It sounds like she found out that you were a snake and you have been snaking her. Approximately 6 months later, she told Human Resources that she believed her life was in danger. Human Resources responded that she should just leave the workplace when she was having an episode. After approximately a year and a half, Mrs. M was fired. Mrs. M's ex boyfriend, a producer at Fox, shared that Human Resources gave Mrs. M a large amount of money in severance. Mrs. M wondered why Fox rewarded her bully with money. Again, did I not tell you what this woman time was on? How are you such good friends with every woman's fiance that leaves her, husband that divorces her, and also boyfriend that leaves her? Why, if this woman was being so fucking irrational and doing this and doing that and bullying you, why are you so cool with her man? And why is her man telling you her tea? Okay, sure. Aisha, Aisha Lava Gambrel. Thank you, Aisha Lavalette Gambrel. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Also, Sarah said, people mad they can't find any joy in their lives. I know that's right. I know that's right. Again, y'all, this woman is on some slime time. What? And the fact that everyone is looking over this woman said, F you, this person be. Every time she saw you, it was on site. She was up in your ass every time she saw you. And then you say her ex-boyfriend, a producer at Fox, told her, let's also not forget settlements are confidential. So the ex-boyfriend was so close to you, because after she left, she broke up with him, was so close to you that he told you that a woman that harassed you all the time and was a bully got a large amount of money in severance. And I think that's when that girl was like, yo, she got money. And I'm betting this girl, Mrs. M, left because she was also being sexually harassed. And I think this is when the girl got the idea to sue. She heard about the severance, she heard about the pay, she did all that, and she was like, yo, maybe I can get it back from this too. Now, that said, hear me out. I'm sure Skip Bayless did what she said he did, and maybe Dixon did what she said he did too. But Human Resources eventually apologized to Ms. Farage, explaining they did not have experience with mental health issues. You do not give mental health people, you do not give severance for mental health. Human Resources offered her free therapy. She declined the free therapy, but began to see an independent therapist once a week to discuss her life at Fox. She continues to see the same therapist to this day. Now, let me put y'all down on some legal shit. She was plotting this lawsuit. And that's not saying that the shit didn't happen like she said it did, but lawsuits with sexual harassment are very much like workers' comp. When you are suing somebody for like a back injury and you're like, oh, I can't work, in order to get the payout, the longer you see a physical therapist to help strengthen your back, the more it looks like you have legitimate injuries. It's funny that she found out about this girl's severance, right? Sorry. It's funny that she found out about this girl's severance, went to Human Resources, right? Said that they apologized to her for what? That they could have been like, I'm sorry you feel that way, right? Also, said they did not have experience dealing with mental health issues. They didn't say mental health issues with the girl that got severance, they could have been talking to her. And all of a sudden, they said, well, and she was like, no, but I really, really feel upset about what was happening and the bullying. It was a lot, right? So they said, well, we can offer you therapy every week. The thing is, when your job offers you therapy, they send you to the people they want, and they might even have access to records, right? You're better off going to an independent therapist. And when you go to the independent therapist, you keep seeing the independent therapist. This is when this girl decided, what year was this, that she was going to sue because she created a trail. Again, she believes she has cancer. Oh, that's sad. And conveys this to Mr. Bayless in an attempt to stop his advances, only to have him offer $1.5 million to have Smix. I believe Skip offered that. I just don't think he ever was planning on paying her. I think he'd be like, yeah, the check's in the mail. Over the years, Skip continued to make advances at her, lingering hugs, kisses on the cheek, and inappropriate comments that he could change her life if she would sleep with him. She would always make excuses regarding her son, politely change the subject, or make a joke, anything to keep Skip and keep her job safe. But why did you need Skip to keep your job safe when the network on the war for you? You have to have the network going to war for you and stopping you from being fired. What is it? You can't have it both. Skip can't be the gatekeeper to your job when the head of the network is making sure you never get fired. Her stories are not even adding up. On July 2021, she developed issues with her left ovary. That is really sad. And was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Skip, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, he told her that he wanted to be with her. She panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child, and that she does not want him. He then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her 1.5 to sleep with him. She made an excuse to leave. Approximately 1 week later, she made another advance. He made another advance at her. She responded, Skip, stop. You have a wife. He responded, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 or 4 wives? She responded that her father was dead. And when Skip looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Again, this is actually a really, really sad paragraph. I'm really sorry that happened to her. And I know I keep beating a dead horse. Why is it that we are almost 60 paragraphs in? We are almost 60 paragraphs into this complaint. And 95% of this complaint has been you trying to paint Joy out as a company passed around, loose woman who slept her way at the top. Every other woman is a victim, is harassed, remains anonymous. And the actual people who abused you, you have now given a collective 7 paragraphs out of almost 60 paragraphs to talking about the GD abusers and the other things about Joy. He was a hating AB. Don't it's like my mom always told me, my dad actually, don't mistake weakness for kindness. Don't. Anyway, and this is the girl that was taking you from job to job and looking out for you. Yo. Anyway, her job was threatened because she did not sleep with Skip. Bayless texted her, I'm good today. That text meant that he would not be coming in for hair or makeup. He then texted her, not comfortable coming down there. Just do what you need to do. It's okay. She asked him what was wrong. He said, same stuff or worse. She was concerned about her own job, walked to Skip's fitting room to see if everything was okay. He answered the door, and before she could speak, he began to angrily accuse her of effing Shannon Sharpe. She tried to explain that she did not have any feelings toward him and would never sleep with him or any other talent member or employee at Fox, but she could not speak. He demanded she come to his car after the show. She responded that she could not come sit in his car as it was inappropriate. He grew irate and then left. Again, that doesn't feel too good, right? When people accuse you of sleeping with someone all because of body language. Skip texted her, if you're distracted tomorrow, I'll wait till Monday, but I can't keep doing this. She told him she was very confused. He responded, trust me, I'm far more confused. She then explained over text that she is not sleeping with Shannon. He did not respond. On April 15th, again, why didn't you take this? You have the network head looking out for you. Why didn't you tell the network head that you're saying wanted to hit, that Skip was also trying to sleep with you? But whatever, let's move on. Um, then Skip texted her, "Do you still want to do the haircut or just move on?" She responded she doesn't want to move on from her job and that she'll continue doing his hair. He then said to her, he called her. She did not answer the call because she was scared. She then called him back 10 minutes later. On the call, he again angrily accused her of effing Shannon Sharpe and said that he could tell from her body language, same shit she said about Joy, could tell from her body language that she was effing him. She tried to explain that she was kind to all talent and that included laughing and engaging in conversation. She then asked if he was yelling at her because she refused to go to his car. He answered that she shouldn't talk to him like that. She replied that she could respond however she wanted. Skip was angry and stated that he heard her talk to Shannon about her vajayjay. She knew this to be untrue and was embarrassed and angry. She responded that even if she had been dating Shannon, which she wasn't, it shouldn't matter at all because she was a professional. She only had a professional relationship with Miss Skip. Ah, so I get it. You have the right to be offended because this guy's accusing you based off of body language of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe. But with Joy, she's a town pass around because you saw body language that you refused to describe, even though you described everything else. And then you point out the Skip, but even if I was sleeping with Shannon, who cares? Because me and you only have a professional relationship. But yet, you put in the comments that you put in the lawsuit that somehow we should look down on Joy because, according to you, she may have been sleeping with her coworker, not her boss, but her coworker, Acho Echo, whatever his name is. On April 17th, Skip, the makeup artist, I'm sorry, Miss Farage, the hairdresser, sorry, arrived in the makeup room, turned on the recording device, put it on the table, and waited for Skip to arrive. In the meantime, two of her coworkers who were privy to Skip's actions went into other talent members' rooms. So again, every woman and every coworker that knew about the harassment that she confided in, this and that, they all got to remain anonymous. But Joy, she's somehow angry with because she's confided in Joy, and Joy told her the same thing everybody else did. It's like that in Fox. Don't say anything. We probably all gonna be fired, but girl, do what you want. Skip, and listen, and they were listening in on the conversation. Skip then arrived in the makeup room with her to cut his hair in accordance with his regular schedule. Skip knew that the makeup room was always recorded and clearly states this room is bugged. During their conversation, Skip stated that he would hate for her to lose her job, but she can't be doing the big thing with my archival. She responded by reiterating that being polite to Shannon Sharpe is part of her job. He responded, "Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on you." Skip then warned that he doesn't want her to lose her job over this. She responded that she wasn't going to lose her job because she's a great hairdresser. But you just said that Miss Peretti said you were trash and the head of the network had to step in to make sure you didn't lose your job. Skip said, "I've loved for you and I have for 6 years, and you hurt me and you're ruining this." She responded that she must be polite to all talent. Skip then implied that if he had stopped requesting her, it would affect her job. She responded that she's scheduled to work every morning at 5:45 a.m. and if he'd like to get his hair done, he's welcome to sit in her chair. He continued to threaten her job. She knew he was trying to pressure her into having sex with him, but she was repeating that she was professional and had to be kind to talent. Again, you're a professional, but Joy's not. Skip asked if she would come to his home and color his hair, a side job that she previously would partake in when Skip's wife was home. On this occasion, with her therapist's help, she conveyed that she would no longer be going to his home. The following week, he arrived in the makeup room as if their conversations never happened. But she remained on edge. She had worsening nightmares regarding the incidents that took place, and her therapist started using eye movement. Anyway, she said that she was targeted for her ethnicity and her disability. In October 2021, her friendship with Joy ended. Joy then began insulting her on a personal and professional level. Gosh, I wonder why her friendship had ended. Did she figure out that she was in her ex-husband's ear, in her fiance's ear, literally talking shit about her with Skip Bayless, a man that was mad she couldn't hit. And also, it looks like you had this relationship with Dixon, but was talking shit about Joy Teller. Could it be that she found out that you're a fucking user and that you were just using her to get where you could and be around all these men so that you could form your own relationships with them? Again, could it be? Because I like the way she keeps skipping over her own TV. How did you and the network boss become so cool that he stepped in and stopped a hairdresser from being fired? How did you get so close with everybody's boyfriend, fiance, or ex-boyfriend? How is it? Why did your friendship end? And why did she begin insulting you on a personal and professional level? In early 2023, the treatment reached a breaking point as Joy began openly mocking her English, exclaiming that she could not understand her accent. First of all, that's even if this happens. Second of all, she just said that her accent was thick. Anyway, let me not get into that because who knows, right? And complaining that her humming, an involuntary subconscious coping mechanism for her PTSD diagnosis. She began stating that she needed a Black hairstylist. Okay, let me just say this, right? Because I need to stop. If you are a hairdresser and talent asks you to stop humming, you stop humming. Yes, people with disabilities will be accommodated at jobs as long as it does not interfere in the job. Hence why, if somebody is wheelchair bound, they may not be able to keep their job as a dance instructor if them being wheelchair bound interferes with dance instructing. If it does it, fine. But it's a sad truth that disabilities, it's a sad truth that disabilities and their accommodations, it's really messed up. They really don't accommodate as much as they should. But I think it's a mockery that you're asked to stop humming and you say it's an involuntary response to your PTSD that you experience. I thought, what does it have to do with Joy getting her hair done, saying, I'm trying to get in the mode. I can't concentrate while you're humming. You realize when people are getting their hair and makeup done, they're reading notes, they're going over stuff, they need to concentrate. So you're saying, well, my humming is a part of my PTSD. Okay, I get that, but so what? It's not if your trauma response interferes with your ability to perform your job, which is be a hairdresser and be quiet. Okay. And she also stated she needed a Black hairstylist. Faraj and her coworkers who noticed the harsh interactions hoped that Fox could see through the facade, as Faraj has been doing her hair for approximately 7 years at her own request without any complaint and had been working on textured hair for decades. She was hired to do hairstyles for over 10 Black background dancer in CeeLo Green's music video, FU. Ladies, if you are a Black woman, first of all, how long ago was FU? And second of all, you did 10 Black girls' hair in your whole career. So now you know how to do ethnic hair. Maybe Joy, back then, Joy was wearing wigs and weaves. Maybe she started to go natural. Maybe she went from natural for it. At the end of the day, if she is the talent, and again, you're not under contract. If she is a talent and she says, I don't want you doing my hair anymore, somebody can fire you for any reason. They just can't fire you because of discrimination. You see what I'm saying? So I cannot fire you for your race, color, creed, religion, sex, or something else, right? I can't fire you for that. But if I fire you because I think your breath stinks. If I fire you because I don't like your attitude, if I fire you because I think your work sucks, that is legal to fire someone. As long as you're not in those 7 protected categories: race, religion, color, creed, something else, nationality. As long as it's not that, you can fire somebody for any other thing. People have been fired for less, right? Again, her diary entry states she's been acting like, because I'm not black, I'm stupid. She keeps saying black girls' hair should be done like this, not how you do it. I've been doing her hair for 7 years. She keeps making me feel like my English is not good. She keeps making comments like, oh, white girls are dumb. First of all, when this girl started making recordings, going to her psychiatrist, and also making diary entries, she already knew she was going to sue. Second of all, as a black woman, I actually find it offensive that she says black girls like to get their hair done like this. That's her saying, I like my hair like this. As a hairdresser, you do not, and especially again, black woman, American black woman, stand up and let it be known. It's the same way if a black man was with a white barber and he's doing your fade and you're just like, yo, that's not the way we do it. You need to line this shit up. You need to like blend this better. You need to taper to be tighter. Who is a hairdresser to be like, no, this is how it is? I did 10 background dancers on CeeLo's video and get out of my hair. Get out of my hair. I've been doing her hair for 7 years. Black hair trends, that 7-year thing, black hair trends change all the time. It was extensions, then it was weaving wigs, then it was natural, then it was blowouts, then it was press and curls, then it was silk press. As a black woman, I know I have several hairdressers. The girl that does my boho is not the one that's doing my silk press. The girls that do my wash and curls are not the same one that's doing the boho braids. The girls that are doing installing the bust down are not the same one doing the braids. Like in the black hair care, you have specialists. And every hairdresser is like a specialist. That is their specialty. I'm not going to get a wig installed with the same girl that does the best silk press. And I'm not going to the girl that does the best wig install to do my boho. Every hairdresser is specialized in a certain thing. And the fact that she didn't even realize this and she's trying to say that it is discrimination. Listen. I'm just crazy that like she's trying to say this discrimination because a black woman is telling you that you are not doing her hair right, and two, even though you might have done her hair well the way she used to wear it, the way she's wearing it now, somebody that does press and curls and relaxers, if I decide I want to do my hair natural, you don't know how to take care of my natural hair. Yeah, if I have a press and curl, yeah, if I do a relaxer, maybe you can hook that shit up. But when I say I want to just wear my own hair curly and fluffy, you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to take care of it. Anyway, Aisha, thank you so much, Aisha. Aisha said, hey, Tisa, thank you for all your in-depth research and for giving us all the tea. May God bless you for this amazing year. Hit the like button. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen. Oh my God. I'm confused about y'all. I don't understand. New chess moves. Before I block you, Tisa must have a white mom. Can anyone confirm? You dumb fuck. Both my parents are black. Black. Not immigrants. No shade to that. But they are black. And I got 4 grandparents. Y'all are, so I don't understand how we talk about real stuff and you literally trying to find out if the thing, like, y'all, let me block this idiot. Anyway, no shade to anybody that is mixed. But like, are you American? Like, I don't understand. Black people I meet, it's like, yeah, of course she black American. Like, yeah, ooh, but even if I was mixed, what does that have to do with anything? I am not. I got 4 black grandparents. But and I mean spade table black parents, spade table black, right? But even if I was mixed, why would that change anything? What like oh God, we ain't never gonna be free. We ain't never gonna be free. We are never going to be free. I don't understand. Where I'm from, everybody in the community looks like me. But anyway, let's get into this thing. Listen, um, I'm just saying, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We gonna see the end of this mountaintop. Anyway, we ain't never gonna be free. Oh, some idiot. Like literally, all we talk about. Does she have a white mother? What? And no shade if somebody has a white mother or father, but oh, anyway, right? Just anybody want to ask me my bra size? Anybody want to ask me like what y'all want to know? Come on, the people that are in it, what y'all know? My bra size, like, oof. Anyway, right? Um, okay. On June 14th, 2023, she reported the incidents to Mrs. Peretti. On June 14th, her diary entry states, by now it's been 7 days that the company knows about this racism and discrimination towards me. I told my boss, Gina, I told Cindy all about it. A black woman telling you how she wants her hair done is racism and discrimination. A black woman saying that you are not properly doing her hair is racism and discrimination. Are you trying to say that a black woman doesn't know when her hair is properly done? And you, as the hairstylist that works for her, that she bought you to the job, that she hired you, she has to let you do her hair any way she wants when she is the actual talent and technically your boss? All right, girl. On June 16th, she pulled Mrs. Farage into her office and asked if she wanted to leave speak. She explained she wanted to work. She told her that she should just leave the room when Joy was acting out. She noticed that this was a pattern. When Mrs. M bullied her, human resources told her to leave the room. And now Taylor bullied her. And again, she told her to leave the room. On June 16th, the diary states, I'm very disappointed in how Fox operates racism and bullying instead of getting rid of the bully, that they have to get rid of the victim. Wow. Again, she's putting all this in diary entries, but did she say this to her therapist? Because, okay. On June 21st, she called her into her office. She explained that while she would still go in every morning and set up her hair, Joy no longer needed her as a hairstylist. She explained that she was to work from 5 to 9 a.m. and then go home. When she asked about touch ups, she stated that she had spoken to all talent on the show and that no one needed touch ups. Let's not forget that nobody on the show even wanted her as talent. And the only reason she was there is because Dixon was fighting for this hairdresser to keep her job. She then asked if she did something wrong. She responded, you remind me of my dog. And when I take my dog out, he barks at bigger dogs. That's like you. She left the room and cried. To call someone a dog is one of the most offensive insults in the Persian culture. Um, You remind me of my dog. When I take my dog out, he barks at bigger dogs. That's like you. Now, I don't know why she said that. I don't know if she was calling her dog. Again, this girl is a thing of like not giving the whole story. I really honestly think she might have been like, you are always beefing and you got a problem with everyone. How is it every single woman around you got a problem with you, but you're cool with all their boyfriends? You're cool with their ex fiancés. You're cool with their ex husbands. I don't know. I know. No. Listen, exactly. Be wary of anyone calling a black woman racist for advocating to have a proper hairdresser in the entertainment industry. Yo, Sarah, that is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is oof. And the fact that this woman, it gives me vibes of like, that's your racism and discrimination. Her being like, I don't like the way you do my hair anymore. Okay. Miss Berardi then hired 2 new black hairstylists to work from 9 to 3 p.m. As Joy was very picky with her hair, she did not like the work of the 2 new black hairstylists and asked a coworker who is a Latina woman, let's not forget this hairstylist is Persian, to do her hair 5 days a week. The coworker declined. Now, How can she say that this is racism? Because she got 2 black hairdressers and she didn't like the way those girls did her hair. And she didn't like the way that the Persian girl was doing the hair. So clearly it wasn't about race. She just didn't think you did a good job anymore. Different talent members asked Faraj why she was no longer providing touch ups on Speak. The third time they asked her, she explained that because talent had indicated they did not need touch ups, she was no longer available for touch ups. The talent members were shocked and said that they needed touch ups on Speak. She did not feel it was professional to mention her conversation with Ms. Peretti and explained that there must have been a misunderstanding. She informed employee relations. She became concerned for her job as this was a common tactic employed by Fox when retaliating against a witness or a target. Fox systematically reduces work schedules and ultimately terminates employees by removing an individual from the schedule entirely, using fabricated business necessities as a pretext. Again, do you think that she was firing you because she always wanted to fire you and Dixon was the one keeping you around? And because she couldn't fire you according to Dixon, she was phasing you out? Um, get this. In mid 2023, Anna Jerker, Fox Sports Vice President of Employee Relations, asked her for a meeting. At the meeting, she asked if Joy Teller was having Drucker asked if Joy Teller was having a sexual relationship with Mr. Acho. She admitted that the two were in a sexual relationship. Ms. Faraj shared this information because she didn't think it was a big deal. Because, even according to her, Joy and Acho had similar amounts of power at this time. And because she didn't think Joy or Mr. Acho would physically harm her for providing this information. They said Acho had always been respectful to Faraj and never threatened or hurt her, unlike Joy. Right? Again, you always on the men's side. On July 31st, employee relations asked Mrs. Faraj for a meeting. At that meeting, Miss Stowe told her that there had been complaints of her humming. She explained that her humming was an involuntary subconscious coping mechanism for her PTSD and that everybody at Fox knew she hummed. She further explained that she's been humming since she was a child and has been humming her entire tenure at Fox. Her humming was exasperated in stressful situations, and although she hates it and wants it to stop, she does not even realize when she is humming. She further explained that if anyone is now complaining, they were only doing so to hurt or embarrass her. She thanked Faraj for the information, abruptly changed the conversation, quickly asked whether she had made public comments regarding Mr. Dixon and Joy having sex. She became very scared. Mr. Dixon had previously assaulted her, and Joy had warned her that he would fire her if she said anything. It wasn't just Joy, it was lots of people. And responded that while everyone in the company knew about their relationship, she did not have any further information and did not want to comment about it. She then tried to end the conversation and asked Ms. Faraj had any questions. She then began crying, asking why such a swift investigation took place regarding her humming, but no one cared that Mrs. M threatening to kill her or others mocking her English. She then explained that all she wants is a safe work environment, but everyone mistreats her and there's no consequences for them. While she's focused on others mocking her English, she was thinking of her interactions with Joy and Bayless. Mr. Peretti told approximately 8 of her coworkers to not associate with her as she had a pending case with Human Resources. She was confused as from her perspective, she did not have a pending case with Human Resources. Now, here's the part that she's skipping over, and I actually really need to highlight, right? Because hey, Corey, what's up, Corey? Thank you so much. Oh, I love the kids. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Here's the part that she's skipping over that she doesn't want everyone to know. She thinks she's slick. She has a pending investigation. She's trying to paint herself as she's the only one that has grievances. Human Relations called her in to see if she was spreading rumors about Joy. That's why they asked her, are they in a relationship? That's why they thought I asked her, have you said anything to your coworkers about Joy and Dixon sleeping together? And that's why that girl said, well, I mean, everybody knows. I might have commented on it, but everybody knows. She was being questioned because she was the one in Human Relations for spreading rumors about Joy. And Joy had also complained to HR. So they were conducting investigation. And that's why she broke down crying, saying, oh, so You're she broke down crying because she realized that they were onto her, and she realized that Joy knew that she was spreading rumors about her at work. And that's why she's like, "Wait, why do you only have questions about what I said about who Joy is sleeping at and not the humming?" Anyway, right? Um On August 9th, 2003, she told Paraz that her services were officially no longer needed on Speak. Her diary entry for that day states that they were only taking me off the show because I reported Joy. After I reported, they took me off the show. This must be illegal. Again, Fox is doing an internal investigation, but I'm willing to bet Joy complained that she found out that this girl was spreading rumors about her and talking about her to all her coworkers. Kim Beavis, Fox News vice president, said Mr. Drucker asked Mr. Bayless for a meeting. When Joy arrived, um, who is it? Fox VP and Drucker asked Skip for a meeting. When Skip arrived, both women told Skip not to worry and that his job was safe. The two then started interrogating him on whether he had a romantic relationship with Faraji and whether she had offered him sex. When Skip responded truthfully that she never had offered him sex, they again told him not to worry and that his job was safe, heavily implying that they wanted him to say otherwise. This circular conversation took place for approximately 20 minutes. Following the meeting, Mr. Dixon called Mr. Bayless and asked why he didn't just lie. Skip responded that he cares about Faraj. And he responded, "Who cares? I can get you a better looking hairstylist." Now, again, if this happened, they are trash for this. I do want to say this. You're getting all this information from Skip Bayless. How do you know Skip Bayless actually didn't say? I find it interesting the choice of words. Did you ever sleep together? No. You never answered whether you guys had a romantic relationship. On top of that, you're only going by what Skip told you. You don't know what Skip told those human co-worker girls. And also when they're like telling Skip, "Don't worry, your job is safe, your job is safe." That's what they tell everybody before they're about to fire you because they want you to speak honestly. An investigation is indicative of the role of human resources and employee relations as protector of abusers and wrongdoers. Inexplicably, Fox has allowed human resources and employee relations to personally intermingle with other departments and high level decision makers to their own benefit. For example, Mr. Tahani was promoted from human resources to a producer after he turned a blind eye to various allegations. Shortly after his promotion, Faraj noticed that he was at Fox early in the morning. Faraj asked him why he was in so early, and he responded that he was now producing the show because our great boss, Charlie Dixon, who has the power to do it, has made me a producer. She asks, "That's all you need, a powerful man? You don't need experience?" Mr. Tahaji pompously responded, "Yeah, that's correct, Notion." Again, this girl seems like a huge hater. That's all you need, a powerful man. You don't need inexperience. It's just like, I get it, but she just sounds like a hater. Who are you to ask me why I got my job? Could you imagine if you got a promotion for whatever and the hairstylist, who you're not even a coworker, you're not a peer, you're not a coworker, you work in a different department, comes asking me, "How'd you get this job?" Right? What are you doing this so early? I'm a producer. How'd you get that job? Skip Bayless. I mean, Dixon gave it to me. Oh, that's all you need? Um, she said, "Because our great boss, Charlie Dixon, who has the power to do it, just made me a producer." This girl that's not even a thing came and started questioning someone why they got a promotion. He's the head of HR, but you don't know his experience. You don't know why he was made. And he might have been made the producer because they needed somebody with HR experience on that thing. There's more than one producer. But even then, that's all you need, a powerful man? You don't need experience? Again, it sounds like it was a contentious relationship and he was trying to tell her to mind her GD business. Um, Again, in late August of 2003, she learned from she learned that Skip learned that Shannon and Miss Bari had never been involved, also had never been involved romantically. Subsequently, Skip pulled her aside for a conversation. During this conversation, he apologized for accusing her of having sex with Shannon, disclosed details regarding his August 21st meeting with Human Resources, and further disclosed that the boss wants her fired because she knew too much and was talking. Again, did I not just say? I'm psychic. Did I not just say that's what's going on? You were reported to HR for spreading rumors about Joy. Everything you know about what's going on, you heard from Skip Bayless. Was Skip Bayless telling you the truth? And if Skip Bayless thought that you were sleeping with Shannon, did he tell customer service, human relations that there was nothing going on? Or was he throwing dirt on your name because he wanted you to punish you for an alleged affair? Skip also disclosed that he believed Dixon kept his wife on Fox's payroll to keep her silent about his affairs with Fox's employees. Again, this is all Skip's speculation. Skip asked her out to dinner to continue the conversation, but she declined, stating she cannot do anything that even gives the inference of non-work relationship because she wants to keep her job. Skip told her that Dixon was continuing to push him to ask for a different hairstylist, but Skip refused. Again, this girl is dumb. Skip is clearly lying to her. Dixon is the head of the network. Dixon was the one that pushed for this girl to keep her job. Dixon can snap his fingers and be like, yeah, I don't like the way. Dixon can sit there drinking a scotch like it's 30 watt, watching and be like, yeah, I don't like the way their haircuts look. Fire the hairdresser. And that could be it. Dixon does not need Skip Bayless's permission to do anything, including firing hairdressers. So the fact that this dummy, and I'm going to call her a dummy, really believes everything Skip is telling her is true. So you're telling me that the head network wants you fired, but Skip is so powerful. He's like, no, but I'm keeping you around. You sure you don't want to go to dinner? He's talking to you like you're a dummy. Again, he's talking to you like you're a dummy. All this is coming out of Skip Bayless's mouth, and Skip Bayless is a known dirtbag. Ladies, come forward and just testify. You're talking to him like he's a dummy. Anyway, her diary entry for that day said, I feel desperate. I don't know how to save my job. Charlie is the big boss, and I'm just a hairstylist with no power. Skip said that Joy is telling Charlie to get rid of me, and that's crazy. Does this not sound like Skip Bayless is being a dirtbag? Like maybe he ratted her out to human resources because he wanted her fired. Then he found out that she wasn't sleeping with Shannon. Then he's trying to still sleep with her, saying, yo, the big boss wants you fired, but I want you here. Then Joy, who this woman is clearly obsessed over, Skip is telling you that Joy wants you fired. But I don't understand. Joy wants you fired. The boss wants to fire you because his alleged mistress wants you fired. But Skip Bayless, a man that works for this man, is standing there making sure you're not fired. This dummy. Anyway, on October 20th, Skip told her that Mr. Dixon had threatened his job because he continuously requested her, stating he'd rather have another pretty girl on undisclosed over Bayless anytime. This okay. Hey, what's up? Bernard Rivers said, I love you, Tisa, and continue to support you, of course. But we need to see what the discovery brings out. These days, you never know. Charlie and Skip, pretty sure there's something there. Keep going, still listening. I Here's the thing. I thank you so much, Bernard, first of all, for the super chat. But let's agree to disagree. Because if the head boss, Charlie, wanted that hairdresser fired, he didn't need Skip's permission. He didn't need an excuse. All he had to say is, I don't like the way their hair is looking. Fire them. And that's it. You don't need permission in America to fire somebody. As long as you're not firing them because of race, color, creed. There's 7 protected categories. As long as it's not because of that, you can't fire someone because of their race or their religion or their nationality or their sexual orientation or their gender. But you can fire someone because you think they do a shit job. You can fire someone because they annoy you. You can fire someone because they don't get along with the rest of the workers. Like, let's be serious. Anyway, right? And all this stuff saying Charlie said he'd rather have another pretty girl on Undisputed over her anyway. So somehow they were always having conversations about her. Again, this doesn't make sense. On the Skip told her that he still loved her and confided that Mr. Dixon was the one who told him that she was sleeping with Shannon Sharpe. Okay, stop. Bernard, come back into this. Bernard, come back in. Bernard, this don't sound like Skip was lying to this girl. This man went on a jihad against Shannon Sharpe, thinking that he was snaking him and sleeping with a woman he wanted to sleep with. And now he's saying, I don't want to get you fired. Joy wants you fired. I don't want you fired. Charlie wants you fired. And I didn't believe that you were sleeping with Shannon. But Charlie, the network boss, he told me you were sleeping with Shannon. Does this make any sense? So basically, Skip went too far. He complained to her with human resources, I believe. Skip went too far. The girl got mad. She cut him off from even being in friend zone. And now he's trying to make excuses as to why he accused her of sleeping with Shannon. It wasn't me. It was the big boss. It was Charlie Dixon, not me. I don't know. He then again tried to have sex with her. This is the same man that offered her 1 million for sex. I don't like, okay. Again, I think he offered. I think he's a liar and he never intended on paying. Her diary for that date states, I said, Skip, I'm only interested in working with you and having friendship relations with you and nothing else. He said, you have no idea you're losing everything. I don't know what he means by that. And I hope he doesn't take me off the show. It makes me sick to my stomach. And it's really hard for me to work like this. I hope God helps me because Fox is supporting people like Charlie and Skip. On December 17th, one of her coworkers was indefinitely taken off the schedule after she took offense to bullying and racist comments made by a Fox NFL host. Funny how you got Joy's name all up at this thing, and now you're not even talking about the Fox NFL host. Okay. Over the next few months, she made it known amongst the department that if needed, she would speak out on her coworkers' behalf. Mrs. Purdy responded, it's so hard for you here. Why don't you quit? And she also later commented, I don't forget anything I did to blank or blank. This was especially cruel as she knew one of the coworkers had tried to commit. She reached out to Ms. Drucker and asked if she should get an attorney. Ms. Drucker responded that she does not need an attorney. On June 24th, a talent member disclosed that Undisputed was going to be canceled and that Skip was going to be fired. She grew internally anxious that Mr. Dixon was trying to get her fired. I'm confused. Undisputed, you just said that the only person you're working with was Skip. That show is about to be canceled, correct? Skip was being fired. Something tells me. Now, here's another thing. Skip was about to be fired. Something tells me Fox News did a investigation and found out that Skip was a dirty, dirty dog. And they firing Skip for liability. Because don't forget, everything about Dixon that she knows, Skip told her. Everything about Joy that she knows, Skip told her. And what she saw with her own two eyes about the body language, right? But right now, Skip is all this. So Skip, she's trying to tell us that Skip told her that he had so much power with the network head that Skip was stopping her from being fired, even though she just told us the network head was fighting for her to keep her job. But now Skip has so little thing that not only was the show getting canceled, but he was going to be fired from Fox News permanently. Okay. Later that week, she gave Skip a haircut. During the haircut, Skip told her about a new opportunity he was expecting outside of Fox. She asked if he would still be coming back to Undisputed, and he replied, of course. Skip then told her that he fantasizes about having sex with her and asked how much money it would take to have sex with her. She stated that she had already refused the 1.5 million and that her answer wasn't going to change. Skip replied, the more you say no, the more I want you. Undisputed was canceled. Skip was fired. She was taken off the schedule. She told Miss Farage that there was no longer a need for her. That same day, Skip asked her to walk him to his car on his way out. She felt she had no choice but to walk him to his car. But why? Y'all just both got fired. Once in his car, they noticed Mr. Dixon in the parking lot looking at them. Skip told her, F Charlie. If you want to sue them, go for it. Fuck them. Charlie is not going to sleep tonight. He's scared of what I'm going to tell you. F him. So let me get this straight. So Skip told her to sue, gave her a bunch of shit, right? He just didn't know that she was going to throw him under the bus too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. 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 Listen. Listen. Let's keep going. So this was all Skip's plan. That same day, she reached out to Fox, asked why she was taken off the schedule, and explained that although Undisputed had been canceled, she had worked on the herd, speak, and talent continued to request her. Fox did not provide a substantial response, but said they would investigate the issue. Again, that's the way the cookie. You used to work on the hood. You used to work on those places. You weren't. You were only Skip's hairdresser. You got fired, and they didn't want to hire you anywhere else. That is their right. On August 5th, she was asked to give Mr. Silverman a haircut in the same manner she'd been doing so for over the past 7 years. She then reached out to Fox to ask what she should do, as she did not want to let Mr. Silverman down. The next day, Fox again did not provide a substantial response, but said they're continuing to investigate the issue. On August 8th, after finishing their investigation, Fox was finally able to muster the following pretext reason for firing her. They can only afford to have one hairdresser work on all 3 shows. Her fears actualized as she realized she had become a target. Fox systematically reduced her work schedule and ultimately terminated her employment, removing her from the schedule entirely using fabricated business necessities as pretext. Guided by his attorney, Fox then implemented the revised schedule, assigning a single hairdresser to cover all 3 shows for approximately 3 months. Once Fox believes that it sufficiently justified its actions from a legal standpoint, they reverted to their long-standing schedule arrangement, which included one hair and makeup professional in the morning and another set in the afternoon, the same arrangement that had been in place for years following her tenure. In addition, Fox employed a barber to work exclusively on the new morning show. Weeks after being terminated, she was conflicted about the next step. After many therapy sessions, she concluded she never wants to work with Skip again, feels ashamed for working with him for so many years, and is able to better control intrusive thoughts of Mr. Dixon hurting her again. In response to her feelings of shame, embarrassment, and fear, her therapist told her she had only been doing what she thought she needed to do to survive. At this point, she seeks justice. Um, She knows that Mr. Dixon used his position of power to coerce women into having sex with him and used it as justification to grope her. She knows that Mr. Dixon did not immediately fire her after Joy and her had a falling out, only to appease Skip by providing him with a plaything. Despite her being an excellent hairdresser and continuously being requested by talent, she was shrunken down to how much she could appease Skip. And when Skip was gone, so was her job. To date, talent continues to ask Mrs. Farage at Fox, including Mr. Coward, who posted a poll on a Twitter page asking if she should get a haircut. She also continues to be requested by and works for high profile clients who do not abuse her. Following her departure, Skip began featuring his wife on his podcast. Upon information and belief, he changed the cell phone number he had maintained for many years, presumably in hopes of removing and deleting incriminated messages, presumably after receiving notice of impending lawsuit from Fox. Yeah, you guys, listen, and I will die on this hill. I believe 3 things can be true at once. I believe Skip was a dirtbag and literally had her feeling like if she ain't played ball, everything was going to go bad. I believe that Skip told her what Dixon was up to. I believe that Skip told her his view of what was going on with Joy and Dixon. And I believe that she was a fake frenemy, hating ass B, who literally couldn't understand why someone she thought was unqualified, because she has a history of questioning people's qualifications. The guy that got a producer job, oh, that's it? You just get a powerful man? You talking to him like he's a woman, a powerful man. What? Now you're trying to say Dixon wanted to sleep with him? You see what I'm saying? Who are you? I would get smart myself. Who are you to question me on whether I deserve a job? You are not the boss. The boss said I deserve the job. Mind your business. Don't worry about me. Sorry. Don't worry about me. Mind your business. So you thought because she was a bartender and a radio personalities make the jump into TV all the time. And she was on Fox Sports a lot. She was filling in left and right. She was hungry. She wanted it in. She got that in. She was testing with audiences. She was testing so well with audiences that they kept putting her on new shows because she bought an audience with her. Ratings and numbers don't lie. You somehow thought that she was unworthy. You referred to her as a bartender. Yes, and she's a radio personality on a popular Florida radio show. She was a on-air talent, that worked on numerous shows, and she had a journalism degree. She was an actual journalist, but you thought she was undeserving. And you don't understand why she could navigate that system without sleeping with anyone. So you assume she slept with someone, even though you were somehow able to navigate the system and you never slept with anybody, right? And I think it can be said that Skip probably did harass you, and you are a victim of Skip, right? And maybe you're a victim of Dixon too. You said he groped you, but the fact that all this shit came out 2/3 of the way into the lawsuit, and every other woman and person you kept completely anonymous, but you decided to drag Joy all up and down and damage her reputation. And the fact that you think we're so stupid that we don't understand that the reason why HR questioned you about, did you tell anybody that Joy was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, wasn't a company-wide cover-up. It was because it is illegal to talk about your coworker's sex life at work. That is harassment. That is discrimination. That is, do you realize that, right? As much as she's doing this, talking about Joy's sex life at work is classic sexual harassment. You can do sexual harassment like lots of ways. Even hearing somebody talking about your sex life at work, somebody implying you're sleeping with the boss, somebody implying you're sleeping with your coworker, someone talking about you sleeping with your coworker. Someone talking about your sex life at work is sexual harassment. The same way pressuring somebody is for sex is sexual harassment. Listen, what's up, Trishawn? Trishawn said, damn it, I'm late as F again. I really need to get my ish together. No, you don't. No, you don't, Trishawn. I hope your day went well, and thank you for joining us. You said, oh, well, what's up, Tisa? Glad to see that beautiful face again. Oh, thank you, Trishawn. It's okay. This was a light live. This was a light live. Apparently only 500 of y'all at any given time care about this, but I wanted to go over the court documents because I find it truly, truly fascinating. You know, um, no, 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 no. You don't understand. Bernard says, no, sleeping with Dixon can violate code of conduct rules. Bernard, you're missing the point. If you have concerns with your coworker sleeping with other coworkers, you take it to HR and you report it. That may violate a code of conduct. We don't know. But I am guaranteeing you 100%, you having conversations about your coworker's sex life to other coworkers is classic textbook sexual harassment. We can argue about this, but you can literally Google, go to ChatGPT or go into sexual harassment law. You are not allowed to discuss your co-worker's sex life. You're not. You're not allowed to gossip about your co-worker's sex life. It don't matter who they're sleeping with. You report it to HR. You report it. She never reported it to HR. HR had to call her in and be like, are you talking about Joy and Dixon? Are you talking about Joy? And don't say, oh, well, they were friends. she wasn't that girl's friend. She was her biggest enemy. She didn't like that. She didn't like Joy. She literally was like preying on her downfall while Joy was lonely. You befriended, like, it's nah, Bernard, I am telling you. Yes, gossiping about your coworker's sex life to other coworkers is sexual harassment. And you're saying it can violate a code of conduct. A lot of jobs don't have a code of conduct, but even if it did, you report it to human resources. You report it to human resources. I don't make the rules. They are what they are, right? Again, I think it's disgusting that so many people are willing to believe this woman's hate-filled complaint about Joy, where everything she knows about Joy is from Skip Bayless, a known liar. Skip Bayless is a known liar. He's a known liar. The lawsuit, like, y'all can't. Skip Bayless is a known dirtbag. Why do I say he's a known liar? I mean, this is my opinion. When you read this lawsuit, it doesn't make sense. All of this shit is coming from Skip. Skip is not an innocent party. Skip knew that this girl, Joy, would not give him the time of day. And he was telling the hairdresser anything she needed to hear. This dummy told him, Skip told her that he would give her 1.5 million to sleep with him. Do y'all honestly believe that was a real request? Do y'all honestly think that Skip would have paid $1? Like, he was talking to her like she was a dummy. And the fact that she was taking him seriously, oh, I believe he wanted to sleep with her. I believe he was being everything. Do I believe that he had any intention of paying her 1.5? No, it's just some dumb stuff he said because she thought that he could run game on her. Again, everything you know about Joy is hearsay. Everything you know about Dixon, aside from him brushing your body, is hearsay. Even Stephen Smith is like, Skip is a known, he's a known cheapskate. He would not pay 1.5 million for anything. Even the fact Skip saying, everybody wants you fired, but I'm fighting for you. When you can't even save your own job. They conducted an internal investigation and found that Skip was being inappropriate. But Joy, anyway, y'all, listen. Yeah. Anyway, exactly. Thank you. I work in finance, and they sent my former boss at work to a location almost 2 hours away for just discussing the percentage of rates I was getting with someone else. Exactly. Thank you. And I love your Abby. Thank you, Impasse Rhapsody. Y'all just don't get it. This girl was actually, again, all these things could be true. Skip was harassing her. Dixon was being a pervert. And she still wrote a lawsuit that was nothing but a thinly veiled smear campaign against Joy. Because at the end of the day, what did Joy do to you? Where is her crime? She didn't help with the sexual harassment. She didn't engage in it. According to you, she might have been a victim herself. All she said was, I don't think you're qualified to do my hair. My black girl's hair needs to be done like this. Who are you to tell the client, no, you won't do the hair the way I want? Maybe, again, Joy switched up her hair. I don't know, but that was Joy's right. That's all you can say. That's where Joy comes into lawsuit, and why you mentioned her for 2/3 of the lawsuit and dragged her name because she said you don't know how to do black girls' hair and she wants a new hairdresser. And she didn't get you fired. She just made sure that you didn't touch her hair. And you know what? Let me just say this. Maybe, like the person I blocked found out, maybe I got 4 black grandparents. You don't let anyone that's hating on you or acting like they're your ops or sabotaging you touch your hair. Hair absorbs energy. You don't let somebody play in your hair that you don't trust and doesn't like you. You don't let them play in your hair. So, as somebody with 4 black grandparents, right? I feel Joy. Bitch, we not cool. I now know for a fact, not only do you not like me, but you've been talking trash about me and spreading rumors about me. You've been harassing me. I don't want you touching my hair. Get out of here. That is her right. That is her right. I don't like you anymore. I don't want you to work for me. That's her right. And she wasn't fired from the company. But Joy has a right to say, I don't want you in my hair. Would y'all let somebody in your hair that didn't like you, that you found out was your ops? I mean, you can if you want. I would not. I would not. I would not. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Bernard Rivers said, so this is why I subscribe and follow. Healthy debate. I'm good. Hopefully you are too. Yeah, I'm good. This is why we're here. Healthy debate. Healthy debate, you know? But anyway, yeah. So anyway, listen, this little lawsuit is going on too long, 2.5 hours. I will listen. Y'all can believe what you want. More information is coming out. Again, I'm just confused at what Joy did to her, that she was 2/3 of a lawsuit when, according to you, Skip Bayless was the real enemy. And Skip Bayless even told you to sue Fox News and gave you all this information. According to you, Skip just didn't know you were going to turn on him too. Mm. Yep. This is go. Yeah. Yeah. This is where you go. Again, listen, this is where you go. Um, listen. Yeah, exactly. And, uh, Stephen E. Davis. In her mind, Joy's crime was being black and fine as hell all the time. It was straight jealousy. I think she was jealous that she didn't believe that Joy deserved her position and wasn't qualified. Imagine, and listen, this is no shade to hairdressers at all. I don't mean to belittle that. My whole point is you're not in staffing, you're not in talent acquisition, you are not an on air personality. You are a hairdresser. Imagine a hairdresser that's been working with Fox for 7 years, deciding who's worthy and who's not worthy of being on screen talent. Imagine that. Imagine a network that keeps making hit shows. You sitting there being like, and how you get this job? Imagine. I see what she's saying. You're kind of like a dog. You bark at bigger dogs. She literally said, called her, you are jealous and you always got a problem with anyone that got more than you or anyone that you feel is bigger than you. You always start problems. Now, again, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But again, I'm still trying to figure out what her issue was with Joy that deserved Joy getting 2/3 of the space in a lawsuit when she did nothing, and your actual abusers getting 1/3 of the space. This was a smear campaign, and all things should be true. Is she a victim? We believe all victims. Is she a victim of Joy? Absolutely not. She didn't even say she was a victim of Joy. She just wanted to embarrass her, humiliate her, make people laugh at her, call her the office pass around with zero proof. Which ironically, which with zero proof, which ironically you got mad and got hurt and was crying to human resources where people were saying the same things about you that you were saying about Joy for the same reasons. Anyway, right? Listen, listen. Anyway, y'all, listen, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm going to be back with a heavy upload schedule tomorrow. Thanks for everybody that actually did join me for these legal documents. I know there's not too many sports fans on this channel, but baby, we're going to talk about it. Anyway, let me get out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.